Hi guys, welcome to my new video on Docker command cheat sheet. As part of this video, I'll explain about the top level commands, what are the most important commands you need to know about working with Docker. As Docker, you have to work with CLI, you have to know that what are the commands options available. So if you need more details about like what are those resources and those, you can check out my different videos on Docker. Then you'll get ideas on different resources as well. So let's start. So what are the top level Docker commands are? So first very important thing about Docker command is the command format. So when you write a command, you have to write Docker resource and the option. Every time you have to write in this format only. So like resource, what are the different resources we have? Image is one type of resource, container is another type of resource, Docker Swarm is type of resource, volume is resource, network is resource. So everything, so first Docker comes, then the resource name comes, and then the option applied to it. If you are not specifying the resource, by default it will be applied to container or the process PS. It will be applied to that. So in the options thing, you can provide like ls or rm, those kind of commands which are general purpose Linux based is command also similar like that. So ls will list out all of the things available under that resource, and rm will remove it. So like that you can create your own command. Instead of remembering all, you should understand the format it is using. So in that first resource, as I told, image is one of the type of resource. So Docker image is the resource name, and over that you can have your command on that. Another container is one of the resource, so you can have the command in this format, Docker container. Then over that you can apply your options, and also the alternative for that is Docker PS, and then you can apply the options. So by default, if you don't provide anything after Docker, that will be applied over container. So Docker PS or Docker ls, if I say, that will list out all the running containers. So default it is applied to containers. Another type of resource is volume. So Docker volume ls, you can have the ls of list of all the volumes. So again the same formatting, Docker volume ls. Like that you have for Docker network services. What are the services you have? Docker services. If it is running in Swarm mode, then only you can activate the service and verify the service list. Swarm, Docker Swarm, it will give you the Swarm details and a list. Also Docker nodes, it will give you all the available nodes under the Swarm system, so you can list out by using Docker nodes. So all these resources, Docker resources, and then options. So this is the first set of cheat sheet I have. The second one is about the utility. So Docker have utility commands as well. So like Docker info. So it will give you information about your installation type, Docker installation in your current system, complete information like what are the driver type, what is current installation directory, what are network drivers available, and many information. You can look into it every time when you want to understand that what is the default thing available with your Docker installation. Then we have Docker def. Docker def is kind of the command which it will give you the difference between whatever you have applied to the container. Like if over the container read-only layer, if you are making some changes over the writable layer, then you can make a Docker diff and container ID. It will list out that whatever the changes you made on that particular container. It is same like the git diff, where you can have the difference between the parent and the current. So here you don't have to specify the parent. By default it will take the image read-only layer and then differentiate between that. Then we have Docker events. So events is kind of keep on going event. You can listen to it. It will be a continuous screen where you can have the list of events, upcoming events. It will just log out there. Like when you are running a container, it will list out that container is started. When you are deleting it, it will list out container remove. So event is a good resource when you want to understand that what is happening behind the scene for that particular Docker instance. Docker inspect is very useful command. In this inspect, you can see the detail about a particular resource, inspect image, then you'll get complete details about what are the layers attached to it, what are the base commands CMD is defined. So inspect will give details about an image, as well as inspect can be applied to container as well. Container, what is the container driver type, what is the details it is having, everything you can list out by using docker inspect on a container, like that network, volume, everywhere you can apply the inspect. It will return you a JSON format. The default version is JSON, but you can change it to some other format also, YML or text format also, so that it will return you that inspect command of that. Then you have docker logs, which is one of the important utility command for inspecting that what is going on inside your container. So docker logs is for that purpose. Docker port is for the container. Whatever the containers running, you can list out that what are the open ports inside that particular container by using docker port command. Docker stats is one of the very important thing when you are dealing with memory optimization inside your container. So like if you want to limit that particular resource to use some amount of memory CPU, then you can see that whatever the limitation is applied by using stats command. So that was all for two set of top level commands. One was general purpose command and second was utility command. Now we'll see on images related command, some of the specific images related command. So there is one set of command which is specifically for a list of images, not on a single image but a group of image you can apply that command on. So like docker images, it will list out all the images available in your system. So this is docker images to list out all the images. Then you have docker images -- digest. It will give you the digest ID or hexadecimal code for that show ID for that particular image. You can verify that whether it is a valid source or not. Everything you can do the security thing inside that by using digest. You can look into digest related thing in my upcoming video. So docker images help, that is the basic default command. If you go with any Linux also, it will have -- help for particular resource. It will list out all the available commands associated with that, or all the open options available with particular resources. So this is some top level command for images related when you want to deal with a group of images. When you want to deal with a specific image, you have another set of command, docker images ls. Again, this is one of the alternative of images and image ls. So both work same. It will list out all the available images. Then you have docker pull and name of the image and tag. So what is this is like, if you want to pull an image from Docker Hub repository, then you can do a docker pull and the name of like Alpine. And the tag option is :tag option is optional. That is the purpose of defining your version. So you can specify your version related details inside a tag option. So that is an optional field. By default it will apply and say it latest. It uses latest one. So this is docker pull, and from like last 6 or 8 months, Docker Hub is not allowing you to pull Docker repository without logging into it. So you have to log in from the CLI by using login command, and you can pull those images as well. So after that, as I told, some utility command, docker inspect an image. You can get a JSON detail about that image. Docker image push. You can push that image, whatever the build image is, to repository. Then you have docker image build. You can build an image by using docker image build, and you have some more options available inside that one, like docker image build -t. It will be tagging that one to a name, whatever the name or repository you want, and then the source, whatever the source docker file. You have to give that with the help of -f command, -f tag inside the docker image build, and then the location, current working directory. By using that, you can build an image. Then you have docker image history. If you want to see that whatever the image was, when it was built, and how the different changes applied to it over the time, then you can use docker image history command. By using that, you can see that complete set of history available for that particular image. Docker RMI. RMI is basically a command for removing an image. So here docker RMI, I stand for the image, and rm is the basic command. You can remove that image from your local by using docker rmi and the name of the that particular image. So that was all about like docker images related command. Now I'll go through some docker containers related commands. So what are the docker container related commands? Are docker container ls. So as I told before, if you don't specify container and you do docker ls, then also you'll get the same set of data, because container is the default resource in docker. So docker container ls, you will get all the running instance of all the running containers of that particular host machine. So docker container ls have many options, like you can filter out based on that. So those are higher level commands. I will give more details on that in coming live examples. Docker container ls, you will get list of all running containers. Like one of the example is docker container ls --- all. It will give even the stopped container or exited container also, but it will not list out the deleted container. So if you want to see some of the stopped container already that has executed, then you can use -all. So it will list out all the containers available in that particular system. Docker ps, which is an alternative of listing out all the containers. By default it is container ls can be written as docker ps, and it will list out all the running containers. ps -all will give you again the same thing, like if you want to list out all the containers, then you have to use -all. And if you want to see only that which are exited or which are stopped, then you can apply a filter over that one by using this docker ps -all -filter, and then you can define the filter. This filter can be anything, like name equals to something, exited equals to 0. So you can apply your regex inside that one, and then you can get the details of that. Docker stop container. If you want to stop a running container, then you can use docker stop that container name to stop running container. rm, so if you want to delete that container, you can use docker rm and that container, but before removing it, make sure that you are not deleting any important resources in your machine. And also one more important thing is rm won't work if the docker container is still running. So first you have to stop it, then only you can rm to that particular container. Then you have this utility command, which is docker inspect, and that whatever the container name, it will give you details about that particular resource, and you can understand that what is inside that container, what network it is using, what volume it is using, and many details you have inside that one. Docker inspect is the command. Docker logs, it will give you the running logs of that particular machine. So if it is a Java application, you can see the running logs of that Java console. Whatever the cmd tag you are running, if it is generating a logs, or whatever the run command you are, whatever the entry point command you are giving, if it is generating some logs, that logs will be directly visible inside this docker logs. Docker ports of that container name, so this will list out whatever the open ports. As I told, this is one of the utility command. Docker def of that container name, so as I told, this is again a utility command which can be used for the purpose of seeing whatever the file system changes you have applied to that particular container over the writable layer or copy on write layer. So this is docker def, and then we have one more important command, which is docker commit, and that container ID and the name of the image. The purpose of this command is, like when you want to experiment with your docker image, if a docker container is running and it is generating some state, or it is into some state, and that state you want to capture it and convert it into a image, so that you can create again that particular state of that particular container, then you can use the docker commit. It will build a new image out of your container current state. Using that container current state, it will build out a image. So whatever the file system changes or anything you have applied onto a running container, those will be preserved and converted into a image, and it will be converted into a read-only layer, so that you can utilize it in your next running container. So this is all commands related to containers. So this is all about this particular video. As part of this video, I explained about what are the top level commands and how the command formats are. As part of my next video, you'll see about Docker Compose, how to convert these commands into a Docker Compose and then utilize that one, and also Docker Swarm, which is one of the important thing when you are going for orchestrating a big cluster of Docker. Thank you guys for watching this video.